Coach, how stunned were you when the third or all three of the fumbles happened within 15 minutes and 10 seconds of the start of the football game?
Irate, stunned, irate. I mean, that's you gift a team 10 points right out the gate without them even really having to take the field. Is a disappointing start to the game. We couldn't feel better going into this game, and to give them 10 points before they even have to do anything is a disappointing way to start.
And ironically, it's guys that are fairly sure-handed. I mean, Gio third all time in attempts without fumbling the football. Alex Erickson, good ball security guy. I mean, kind of surprising those guys, I guess.
It was. But we got to do a better job taking care of the football, and we got to do a better job getting the ball out when they got it on offense.
Coach, the fumbles are obviously the story of the game, but you also been outscored 62-10 in second half since week 10. What do you attribute that to?
Yeah, we had a holding call on our first drive on offense, holding call that put us in a 3rd and long, dropped pass on the second drive, that would have given us an easy first down and given us some momentum. And so those first 2 drives right out I think those were only 2 that we had in the third quarter. The fourth quarter, we got down there and had a turnover on downs, on our 3rd possession, the second half. So just extremely disappointing.
Coach, you went with on the next series, after the first series, on the third series, you went with Fred at left tackle and Samaje. What was your reason there to to go with Fred instead of Akeem? Was it because of what happened on the fumble?
He was just struggling. We just felt like Fred gave us a chance there.
Coach, how much were you planning on rotating running backs today before the game, and how much was that a product of what happened?
No, we were planning on rotating the running backs before the game, so that wasn't necessarily a product. Obviously, like you said, Gio is very, very great with his ball security over the course of his career, but our plan was to rotate all 3 of those backs.
You made changes during the game at running back, offensive tackle, cornerback. Was there a specific reason that today maybe you were making some more personnel changes than a usual game?
No, no reason.
Coach, you deactivate Michael Jordan and deactivate Bullock today. Was it just to give them an opportunity to step back and reboot a little bit?
Yeah, for Mike, it certainly was, and so we made Mike an inactive, and then for Randy, we need to make some of those kicks. So we're going to take a look at Austin.
Now, are you getting impatient, Zac? It seems as if you're just getting tired of seeing what you're seeing, and maybe that's the reason for some of the moves.
It's just when you lose, it's frustrating, and it's hard to get rid of this feeling that we feel, at the end of every week right now. It's frustrating because we feel good about the position we're about to put ourselves in, and then, it's a myriad of reasons that are why we lose, and ultimately it 100% falls on me, 100%, and it's just frustrating. It's really frustrating. A lot of effort goes into this. Guys pulling together. It's still a very close team. I think you can see that as you see them out there playing. We just haven't made the plays that put us in a position to win the game. And it makes you sick to start the way that we started today. As good as you feel walking out of that locker room at pregame, you're sick to your stomach when you start with 3 straight fumbles to start the game. It's just it's a very difficult way to play football.
Third quarter, Zac, has been a problem area. The last 5 games, I think it's like 36-0, I think, have been outscored in the third quarter. Is it just is it like a myriad of things there as well? I guess if you could put your finger on it, would have been changed. But what do you think? What are some of the things do you think is the reason?
Everything, penalties, drops. It's hard to watch. That's hard to take in.
Zac, did you talk to Brandon about the 4th down throw that looked like it was way thrown away? What happened on that? Did you get an explanation from him on what he was trying to do there?
He came out after that play, so I did not speak to him about that. But we'll watch in film and we'll review that.
Was there any thought about pulling Brandon during that drive? He clearly was limping.
He kept giving me the indication that he could go. He's a tough guy, and he was making plays for us. And it's hard to know exactly the extent of the injury when he's out there, when you don't get a chance to talk to him. And he's a tough guy, and you could tell that he wanted to push through it.
Was it a foot or an ankle, or is there any idea what the injury is at this point, or
It appeared to be his knee.
his knee? Okay.
Zach, there have been a lot of games where it seems like y'all have played well enough to win, even without Burrow, and yet just have not been able to. I think y'all had him in total yards a day, had only gave up one offensive touchdown until the end. I mean, how does that? What is the feeling like? Is there a feeling aside from frustration when you have all that happen?
No, I think frustration is just the biggest word I can come up with right now is, that's the bottom line. You can't make excuses right now. We're not winning football games. It's frustrating. We're all frustrated. Got a lot of good guys that we believe in that are all pulling together, doing everything we can to get these wins, and it just has not worked out for us. And that just leads to frustration because these guys deserve, these players and coaches deserve to do it, but you got to earn it. You got to find a way to do it, and we have not done that.
2 more minutes.
Coach, Coach, on the 2nd and 17 on the first series of the second half, you seemed particularly frustrated. What happened there? Do you remember?
Do you remember the play before?
I think you took a timeout.
Oh yeah, just our urgency to the ball. We were about to take a delay game, and just our communication, our urgency was poor, and we had to take a time. Yeah, that's going to piss me off.
Zach, you've been really optimistic throughout your entire time, even as y'all have lost. I mean, how difficult is that to remain that way? Because it seems like that's kind of who you are as a person. I mean,
Yeah.
after so many defeats, I mean, how do you maintain kind of that feeling of optimism about whatever it is you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's I've still got it, and we've all still got it. We'll watch this tape, and you'll take the turnovers off the board, which you can't do. They happened, and you got to play off of them, and you got to find a way to come back and win. It's just tough when you play a game and you feel really good about a lot of the things that you did, but the ball hit the ground 3 times and they got 10 points right off of it. And so that's it. That's on the tape. That's what we did, and we weren't good enough to win today. And that's frustrating.
Zach, you've mentioned frustrating a lot. Just when you look at your record on paper as a head coach, do you start to worry about job security when you get near the end of a season?
No, I just want to win a football game. That's it. And I love going to work with these guys every day. And that's all that matters to me is how do we get ready in 7 days to go win a game? That is 100% our focus. Don't worry about anything else. This is too important for us. We want to win so badly. And we're just going to continue to work and find ways to create those wins.
One last question.
How do you get it to translate from the practice field to the game field? Because, during the course of the week, it seems like have good weeks of practices. It just doesn't translate on game day. I mean, what's the secret sauce there, do you think?
I think this number one secret is win the turnover battle for once, and in a lot of these games that have been closer against a lot of these teams, we feel like, hey, it's going to be a game that comes down to the very end. Oftentimes the bottom line is who won the turnover battle. And we have done a very poor job at that.